We're in Playablanca and looking across to the island of Los Lobos and Fuerteventura. And this bay is known as Costa Papagayo. I'll talk you through the hotels we can see. So that's the Sandos Papagayo and the little beach in front of it. Centre of frame now you've got the Gran Castillo and the Mirador Papagayo next door to it. There's the fort, Rubicon Fort, and in the centre of screen now is the area where the Museo Atlantico is, the underwater statues. So we're actually going to the beaches of Papagayo now. It's a lovely day in February 2021. But we're going a different way. Most of you will have driven on the road that takes you to Papagayo beaches. That's the one that's, I don't know, what is it, 3 kilometers long or so, and it's very, very rough. We're walking, so we've come along the promenade from Playablanca, climbed up this rather steep, awkward bit, and then we're heading up the rest of the hill here, where we'll join up with the main footpath that goes to the beaches. And we've come on from that path now and across this bit of rough ground out to sea there. Don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but there are lots and lots of little sailing boats. They're obviously having a race. But we've now reached the headland. Oh, there's Fuerteventura again, and we're looking down at Punta Papagayo. So this is Papagayo Point. There's actually 7 beaches in total that make up Papagayo, and you can see 3 of them in this shot. First one is Playa Mujeres, Julie's favourite beach. Next one on is called Playa Papagayo. Can't remember the third one along, but it's perched just under the restaurant up there, and you can possibly see cars parked at the top of the hill there, just glistening in the sunshine. And I'll sweep round the mountains at the back of us now, and we're going to crack on towards the beaches themselves. And there's Playablanca and Montaña Roja in the distance. So we've walked along through a couple of barrancos. You can see some other walkers on the top there working their way down, and we've arrived at this trig point. And I'm not going to get any closer to the edge, but there's a lovely drop into a sort of inlet there. Out at sea now you can see those little boats, which are obviously having a race. And here we are at Playa Mujeres. That little ruined building in the just round the corner there is an old lime kiln. They used to extract lime there to be used as render on houses. As you can see, just a beautiful flat sandy beach. A couple of car parks. Looks like someone's camping in this one. And we'll head down. And here we are at the lime kiln. And we're on Playa Mujeres now. As I said at the top, just a beautiful beach. Lovely clear water here. This is where Cat Lanza anchors off on that yellow buoy you can see, and there are the little sailing boats we saw earlier. We've cut across the other side of Playa Mujeres now, looking back at it with the town in the background. And there are footpaths now which join all of the beaches together. They tend to be away from the edge, if that makes sense, because otherwise you end up going up and down these quite steep barrancos. Barranco happens when rainwater from the hills over there naturally flows out to sea, and there are quite a few of them. So up and down as you go between the beaches. We'll move on. We've hiked on to Playa del Pozo, or del Pozo. You can see a couple of stand-up paddlers there. This is a sort of tantalizing glimpse of the beach. We'll see some more of it in a minute. But what I wanted to do was to show you why it's called that. And pozo is the Spanish word for well. And if you look down, you can see those sort of white rectangular shapes with grills above them. Those are wells, and they used to, well, they still contain fresh water that comes down from the hills. So that's why this was known as the Beach of the Wells. Papagayo itself means parrot, so this is Punta de Papagayo. I don't know why it was called that. I don't know if parrots once lived here, or if it was a relation or related to pirates in some way, or what really. Maybe the shape of it reminded someone of a parrot at one time. We do have wild parrots on the island, but I've only ever seen them in Puerto del Carmen and Playablanca towns, up in the trees. So you can see the wells quite clearly there. And there's another one right behind me, and I'll give you a bit of a close-up of it. And as you can see, after the rain we've had in the last few weeks, there is actually some fresh water in the bottom of that. So they flow down a line really from the hills behind us there. Let's head on to the beach. And here we are now on Playa del Pozos. I keep getting that wrong, don't I? Playa del Pozos, the beach of the wells. And yet another beautiful golden sandy beach, and not a soul on it. In fact, the only interruption and sign of human life are my footprints leading to where I'm standing now. So that's as far as we're touring for you for the video today. Hope you enjoyed that from Punta de Papagayo. Moving on a bit further, this is Casa El Chiringuito, and it's the restaurant that sits at the top of Playa Papagayo. Looks like they're putting a new terrace in there. As far as I know, it hasn't been open since lockdown. It wasn't open, we came down here. This is the first beach we visited after lockdown finished last June, and it certainly wasn't open then. I don't know about now. There is Playa Papagayo, as you can see. Quite a lot of people on it. And then back in the distance, I'll give you another shot of Costa Papagayo and Playablanca. And from here you can see where we've walked from Costa Papagayo, centre of the screen, all the way along one beach, along the second beach, and here's the third, Playa Papagayo, with the restaurant behind it. And from up on this promontory, sorry about the wind noise by the way, but I'm high, you can see La Samada, Conil, Tias. In fact, I can even see with the naked eye, I can see Arrecife and the Arrecife Grand Hotel from here, and that's a fair old way. There's a beautiful black catamaran in the bay there, and this is the actual point, the Punta de Papagayo. So we're going to walk around the edge of it now, and then we're on the same coast as Puerto Calero and Puerto del Carmen. And here we are at the end of our tour of Papagayo beaches. There's that gorgeous catamaran anchored up there, and we have Playa Congrio and Playas Congrio and Muelas, which are the last two. And you can also see the campsite, which is just coming up in centre of frame, closed at the moment, but the island's only campsite open in the summer is down here at Playablanca. Lots of families bring their caravans down for the whole summer, and mum and dad, or mum or dad, continue to work normally in Arrecife or Playa Honda, wherever they work, but they come down for the weekends and spend them in their caravans. And way in the distance there you've got Tias, Playa Honda, Puerto del Carmen. And as I said before, I was really impressed. I can actually, you won't be able to see it on video, I'm sure. In fact, I might even try zooming it in case you can. There you go, round centre of the frame now. I can clearly see the Arrecife Grand Hotel. which by road is getting on for 70 kilometers from here. But I guess as the crow flies it might be 40, I don't know. So there you go, that's Papagayo. I'll just sweep back and show you Femez Mountain in the background, and then right across there in the middle of the frame now is where we started this little tour for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Just a very quick postscript for those of you on the Papagayo video who watched the beginning and saw that sort of fairly steep climb we had to do. You can avoid it. We're at the back of the Sandos Papagayo Hotel now, and the road sort of comes around here, but from here there is this path that leads across the back of all the beaches, and there's quite a useful sign here which gives you information about what you're going to see. So there is an easier way to do it than we did, but slightly less direct.